The 1950 USA wheat penny has become one of the most fascinating coins in American history, a true treasure for collectors and investors alike. And when we dive into the reasons why this 1-cent coin with a simple wheat reverse design can reach an astonishing value of $5 million, the story unfolds into a world of numismatic wonder, minting history, hidden errors, scarcity, and the emotional connection collectors feel toward rare pieces of currency. Because at first glance a 1950 penny seems ordinary, struck in the post-war era during a time when the United States was experiencing growth and stability, yet deep within the details of minting, production, preservation, and the accidental mistakes that sometimes occurred at the U.S. Mint, a regular coin could transform into a legendary piece of numismatic art worth millions. And when discussing why the 1950 wheat penny is worth such astronomical figures, one must consider the intersection of rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and above all the existence of unique minting anomalies that make these coins one of a kind, since collectors are not only paying for the copper value or the denomination but also the story, the historical narrative, and the chance to own something almost no one else can claim to have. And the allure begins with the fact that coins minted in 1950 are part of the Lincoln Wheat series, one of the most beloved designs in U.S. numismatic history, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a portrait designed by Victor David Brenner which first appeared in 1909, symbolizing freedom, unity, and the American spirit, while the reverse design showing 2 wheat stalks flanking the denomination, 1 cent, and the inscription, E pluribus unum, serves as a reminder of the country's agricultural heritage and economic roots. And this design, though simple, has captivated collectors for generations. But what transforms a 1950 wheat penny into a $5 million coin are the errors and variations that occurred during the minting process, and among them are doubled dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, broad strikes, die cracks, and lamination errors, all of which can make a particular piece incredibly rare and sought after, because no 2 era coins are identical, and that uniqueness is what drives value, and in some rare cases, a perfectly preserved coin with a dramatic minting error or a flawless strike can reach unbelievable prices, as collectors are willing to pay millions for something that exists in a handful of examples or perhaps even a single surviving piece. And the condition of the coin also plays a vital role, since grading agencies like PCGS and NGC authenticate and grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades commanding exponential premiums. Meaning a 1950 wheat penny in mint state or proof-like condition with little to no wear and possibly featuring a rare error can leap from a few $100s in regular condition to millions at the very top. And when we look at auction history, we see examples of pennies from other years, such as the 1943 copper penny and the 1944 steel penny, selling for millions due to their rarity. So when collectors hear about a 1950 penny with errors or extraordinary preservation, they see it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and the frenzy begins. With bidding wars pushing prices into record-breaking territories, and beyond rarity, the 1950 penny also holds historical value because it represents post-World War II America, a time when the nation was solidifying its global influence and shifting into a new era of prosperity. And holding a coin from that period is like holding a piece of that history in your hands, reminding collectors that currency is not just about transactions but also about memory, identity, and heritage. And imagine the excitement of someone who discovers an old jar of coins passed down from grandparents, only to realize that one of those worn coppers is actually worth millions, a life-changing discovery that turns a family heirloom into a fortune. Stories like this fuel the obsession and mystery surrounding pennies like the 1950 wheat cent, keeping collectors and enthusiasts on edge as they hunt through rolls of coins, search bank boxes, and explore estate sales in hopes of finding the jackpot penny. And it is this thrill of the hunt combined with the factual scarcity of certain varieties that elevates the value to unimaginable heights. And when experts analyze why this coin has captured so much attention, they point out that it is not only about rarity but also about passion, because the numismatic community is filled with collectors who dedicate their lives to studying dies, varieties, minting techniques, and they pass that passion on to the next generation, ensuring that coins like the 1950 wheat penny continue to be celebrated, researched, and hunted for centuries to come, and as more collectors enter the market, the demand rises while the supply of such rare coins remains frozen in time, creating the perfect conditions for values to climb higher and higher. And today, with digital marketplaces, global auctions, and social media spreading news of million-dollar penny sales within seconds, the legend of the 1950 wheat penny has become viral, inspiring people all over the world to check their pocket change, revisit their childhood collections, and wonder if perhaps they too might stumble upon a piece of history worth millions. Because ultimately the value of the 1950 wheat penny is not only measured in dollars but also in its ability to spark curiosity, passion, and dreams of fortune, and that is why this humble 1-cent coin can achieve a staggering value of $5 million, cementing its place as one of the most remarkable coins in American history. And if you enjoyed this story of rare pennies, big money, and hidden treasures, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow collectors, and subscribe for more amazing numismatic discoveries that could change the way you look at the coins in your own pocket. The 1951 wheat penny is another astonishing chapter in the story of American coins that turned from ordinary copper pieces into multimillion-dollar treasures, and when we explore why a 1-cent coin from 1951 can reach the unbelievable figure of $4 million, the excitement grows even deeper, because this small coin carries with it history, rarity, errors, and collector passion that together elevate its value far beyond its face. And while the 1951 wheat penny seems common at first glance, minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco with tens of millions of examples released into circulation, the secret lies in the hidden rarities, unique minting mistakes, and pristine conditions that separate the extraordinary from the ordinary. And it is precisely these few surviving coins with rare characteristics that achieve life-changing prices at auctions. Since collectors know that out of millions minted, only a handful survived in flawless condition or with fascinating errors, and when those few appear, they ignite bidding wars that can push the price to $4 million, and the design remains the classic wheat reverse that collectors adore, showing Lincoln's profile on the obverse created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. Which became a timeless American icon, and on the reverse the two wheat stalks with the motto, E pluribus unum, framing the denomination 1 cent, a design that speaks to America's roots in agriculture and its values of unity and resilience. And though it was the final decade of the wheat penny before the memorial reverse arrived in 1959, these coins still carry heavy historical importance. And for the 1951 penny, the story of value begins with errors such as doubled die obverse, where inscriptions like Liberty or the date appear doubled due to a misaligned die, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing and a blank crescent shows on the coin, repunched mint marks where the D or S from Denver or San Francisco was punched more than once, creating shadow-like impressions, broad strikes that spread the coin wider than normal, and die cracks where metal flows into breaks on the die, creating raised lines across the coin. All of these mistakes are not flaws in the eyes of collectors but rather treasures that make each coin unique, and the rarer and more dramatic the error, the higher the value, with some dramatic examples selling for hundreds of thousands. And in perfect conditions with unique characteristics, soaring to millions. And when authenticated and graded by services like PCGS or NGC, coins that achieve mint state grades close to MS68, or even MS69 with red luster preserved as if they were just struck yesterday, the value becomes astronomical, because collectors understand that perfection is almost impossible after decades of circulation. And another factor is provenance, where coins that come from famous collections or auctions with legendary histories tend to command even higher premiums. And we cannot forget that coins like the 1951 wheat penny are not just metal but are living relics of early 1950s America, a period of transition after World War II, a time of economic expansion, cultural shifts, and global influence for the United States. So owning a piece of that history connects collectors emotionally to the past, making them willing to pay staggering sums. And the $4 million valuation of a 1951 wheat penny may sound unbelievable. Yet when we see how other wheat pennies like the 1943 copper penny or the 1944 steel cent reached millions due to rarity and errors, it becomes clear why the 1951 penny with its rare versions is so highly valued. Because scarcity plus demand equals skyrocketing prices, and the thrill of discovery keeps people searching, checking old jars of coins, bank rolls, and inherited collections, hoping to uncover the hidden gem that could transform their lives. And this is why the legend of the 1951 wheat penny continues to spread, inspiring treasure hunters, casual collectors, and professionals alike, proving that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of millions in value and significance. And if you found this story of the 1951 wheat penny and its $4 million value captivating, make sure to like this video, share it with others who love rare coins, and subscribe for more incredible discoveries in the world of pennies worth big money. The 1952 wheat penny is yet another incredible story in the fascinating world of American numismatics, where a humble 1-cent coin that was minted in Denver can rise to a jaw-dropping value of $3 million. And when collectors and treasure hunters hear this, they immediately wonder how a coin that millions of people once spent in grocery stores or carried in their pockets could now be worth a fortune. And the answer lies in the combination of rarity, minting errors, pristine conditions, and the powerful demand within the collecting community. Because while the 1952 wheat penny was produced in large numbers, only a very small fraction of them survive today in extraordinary condition or with unique features that make them stand apart from the rest. And this is the reason why the top examples have become legendary treasures. And the design of the 1952 wheat penny remains the timeless Lincoln portrait created by Victor David Brenner on the obverse, honoring America's 16th president with fine detail, and on the reverse, the classic wheat stalks surrounding the denomination 1 cent with the motto E pluribus unum, a design that ran from 1909 until 1958 and still resonates as one of the most iconic and beloved in U.S. coinage history. And while most 1952 pennies are still only worth their copper value or a few cents when circulated, certain rare examples with minting mistakes transform into coins worth millions, and collectors constantly search for doubled dies, where inscriptions or numbers show doubling due to die misalignment, repunched mint marks where the D for Denver was stamped more than once creating distinct outlines, off-center strikes that reveal blank crescent shapes, broad strikes where the coin expands larger than normal, die clashes where part of one side of the design appears faintly on the other side, and lamination errors where pieces of metal flake away leaving unusual textures, and among these, dramatic doubled dies and bold repunched mint marks are particularly valued, with pristine red-colored mint state examples sometimes climbing to astronomical prices, because high-grade rarity is everything in the coin world, and the best-preserved 1952 wheat pennies graded by PCGS or NGC at levels like MS67 or higher can be almost impossible to find, commanding breathtaking figures that shock both seasoned collectors and casual observers. And what drives the value up to $3 million is not just the scarcity but also the emotional connection, since coins like these embody a piece of post-war American history, reflecting the economic boom, cultural shifts, and optimism of the early 1950s. So owning such a coin is like owning a tangible piece of the past, a small copper artifact that has survived decades unchanged, making it more than just money. It is history, art, and a collector's dream rolled into one. And imagine discovering such a coin in a forgotten collection or an old jar passed down from grandparents, a life-changing surprise that transforms an ordinary day into an extraordinary moment. And these stories are what fuel the obsession among collectors, the endless searching through rolls, auctions, and estate sales, all for the chance to uncover the next multimillion-dollar penny. And this ongoing hunt creates a constant demand that ensures the few extraordinary 1952 wheat pennies will continue to rise in value. Because the market is global, the passion is growing, and the supply is permanently limited. And that is why a single 1952 wheat penny with the right characteristics can sell for as much as $3 million, placing it among the most valuable pennies in existence. And if you enjoyed learning about the rare 1952 wheat penny and its incredible $3 million story, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who might have old pennies lying around, and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries that reveal how small change can lead to big money. The 1953 wheat penny is another extraordinary chapter in the journey of America's rarest coins, a small copper cent minted in Denver that, under the right conditions, can command a staggering $2 million, and when collectors hear this, they are fascinated by how such a common coin at first glance could transform into a fortune. But the truth lies in the world of minting errors, rarity, historical importance, and flawless preservation, because while millions of 1953 wheat pennies were struck and circulated during the early 1950s, only a handful of examples exist today in such exceptional states or with such unique characteristics that they become multimillion-dollar treasures, and the design of this penny remains the classic and beloved Lincoln wheat cent style, featuring Victor David Brenner's profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. A design introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, and on the reverse, the two wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent and the motto E pluribus unum, a symbol of unity and the agricultural roots of America, a design that collectors cherish as one of the most iconic in U.S. coin history. And although countless examples from 1953 survive in worn condition worth only face value, what makes the difference between an ordinary coin and a $2 million marvel are the hidden treasures of minting anomalies and the rarity of pristine condition survivors. Because minting errors such as doubled die obverse, where the inscriptions or the date appear doubled, repunched mint marks where the D for Denver was struck multiple times leaving ghost-like outlines, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing and replaced with blank space, broad strikes that expand the coin beyond its normal size, die cracks forming raised lines across the coin, die clashes transferring faint images of one side onto the other, and lamination flaws where the metal separates creating unique textures. All of these create one-of-a-kind coins that collectors covet, and among them, bold doubled dies and dramatic repunched mint marks in high mint state red condition are the most valuable, since they are exceedingly rare, and this is where grading plays a major role, with services like PCGS and NGC certifying coins on a scale up to 70. And those few examples of the 1953 wheat penny that achieve MS 67 or higher with blazing red luster and perfect surfaces are nearly impossible to find, and when such a coin combines rarity with eye-catching errors, the price can explode into millions, and beyond the technical aspects of rarity and errors, the historical context of the 1953 penny adds to its appeal, as it represents a time in American history when the nation was transitioning into the prosperity of the 1950s, an era of optimism, cultural transformation, and economic growth. So owning a 1953 penny in such condition is not just about money but about holding a relic of that past, a symbol of resilience and continuity. And the stories of collectors discovering such coins in rolls, jars, and inherited collections continue to inspire new treasure hunters, because the idea that a forgotten penny could turn into $2 million is both magical and real, driving thousands of people to examine their old coins with new hope, and these stories only fuel the legend. Increasing demand while the number of true high-value 1953 wheat pennies remains fixed and limited forever, and this imbalance ensures that the rare survivors will only continue to rise in value, because collectors worldwide compete for the privilege of owning something so rare and unique. And when a 1953 penny with spectacular errors or perfect preservation crosses the auction block, the bidding is fierce and the final hammer price can shock even experts, proving once again that even the smallest copper coin can carry immense value, history, and prestige. And this is why the 1953 wheat penny has been valued as high as $2 million, making it one of the most remarkable rarities in the entire wheat cent series. And if you enjoyed learning about this multimillion-dollar penny and the hidden treasures of everyday coins, make sure to like this video, share it with other collectors and enthusiasts, and subscribe for more unbelievable coin stories that reveal how something as small as a penny can hold the power to change lives. The 1954 wheat penny is one of the most astonishing rarities to come out of the San Francisco Mint, and while to the untrained eye it may appear to be just another copper cent from the final years of the Wheat Reverse series, in the world of numismatics it stands as a potential treasure worth as much as $4 million under the right circumstances. Because although millions of these pennies were struck in 1954, only a handful exist today in conditions or with minting anomalies so extraordinary that collectors are willing to pay life-changing sums, And the reason is simple. Rarity combined with demand creates a perfect storm where the most spectacular examples of the 1954 wheat penny rise to legendary status. And the design is the timeless Lincoln wheat cent style, with Victor David Brenner's portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, detailed and enduring, while the reverse bears the two stalks of wheat framing the denomination 1 cent with the Latin motto E pluribus unum above. A design that had already captured the hearts of collectors since 1909, and though common examples from circulation may only be worth a few cents, the rare survivors with dramatic features or impeccable preservation have become iconic, with era varieties such as doubled dies where letters, numbers, or the date show clear doubling, off-center strikes where a portion of the design is missing leaving a crescent-shaped blank, repunched mint marks where the S of San Francisco was struck more than once, creating layered outlines, broad strikes expanding the coin's shape, die cracks forming raised lines, die clashes leaving ghost-like images on the opposite side, and lamination errors creating unusual textures, all of which transform a standard cent into something one of a kind, and the rarest and most visually dramatic of these errors are highly sought after. But what drives the 1954 wheat penny to the multimillion-dollar mark is not just the existence of errors but the survival of coins in blazing red mint state condition graded by PCGS or NGC at the very highest levels such as MS67 or even higher, where the surfaces remain flawless, luster radiates as if freshly struck, and eye appeal is unmatched, because collectors know that after decades of circulation and exposure, such pristine survivors are almost mythical. And when one combines such flawless preservation with a bold error, the result is a masterpiece of American coinage that commands extraordinary prices. And, beyond the technical rarity, there is also the deep historical significance of the 1954 penny, struck during the post-war boom of the 1950s, a time when America was expanding economically, culturally, and socially, so holding such a coin is like holding a fragment of that optimistic era, a small copper piece that connects directly to the past. And the emotional weight of owning a coin that few others on earth can claim to possess adds to the drive of collectors who battle fiercely at auction, sending prices higher and higher until the final hammer falls, sometimes shocking even experts when the final figure reaches millions. And it is this mix of history, beauty, rarity, and passion that explains why the 1954 wheat penny has achieved valuations of $4 million, placing it among the elite ranks of America's most valuable small-denomination coins. And what makes the legend grow even stronger are the countless stories of ordinary people who search through inherited collections, dusty jars of pennies, or rolls from banks hoping to uncover one of these hidden treasures, because the dream that a single coin could change a life never fades, fueling both collectors and newcomers to check every wheat cent they find, and this ongoing excitement keeps the demand alive, ensuring that the already limited supply will only become more valuable with time. And so the 1954 wheat penny remains not just a coin but a symbol of possibility, fortune, and history wrapped into one copper cent. And if you found the story of the 1954 wheat penny and its incredible $4 million value inspiring, don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, and subscribe for more fascinating discoveries about pennies worth big money that might be hiding in plain sight.